Welcome to Daily Global Motivation, the home of transformation, elevation, and unstoppable mental strength. Today's message is not just inspiration, it's a warning, a wake-up call, and a blueprint for taking control of your life before your own mind becomes the thing that holds you back. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video so this message reaches every person who needs it today. We're diving into the battlefield that decides your future, your mindset. Because if you do not master your mind will master you. If you do not take control of your thoughts will take control of your potential. And if you do not train your mindset to work for you, it will work against you. This topic is powerful, intense, and life-changing, so stay with me until the end. Let's get into master your mindset before it destroys your potential. Your mindset is the gatekeeper of your potential. And if the gatekeeper is weak, distracted, fearful, or undisciplined, everything you're capable of becomes blocked before it even has a chance to develop. Your mindset determines what you believe is possible, what you allow yourself to attempt, and what you give yourself permission to become. Before your potential is destroyed by circumstances, by failure, or by fear, it is destroyed by the thoughts you hold on to. Thoughts become beliefs, beliefs become decisions, decisions become habits, habits become your life. If you don't take control of those thoughts at the beginning, everything that comes after collapses. A weak mindset will talk you out of opportunities that could change your life. A negative mindset will turn challenges into excuses. A fearful mindset will turn dreams into regrets. But a powerful mindset will turn obstacles into fuel, challenges into lessons, and goals into reality. Master your mind, and you master your destiny. Most people are not defeated by life, they are defeated by their internal dialogue. The conversations you have with yourself shape every choice you make, and every choice you make shapes the quality of your life. If your inner voice is full of doubt, fear, insecurity, and hesitation, it will sabotage you long before the world ever gets the chance to challenge you. Your mindset can destroy your potential quietly and slowly, without you even noticing, because it works behind the scenes. It whispers limitations that feel like truth. It repeats old memories that feel like warnings. It exaggerates risks that feel like danger. It amplifies weaknesses that feel permanent. But once you become aware of this voice, once you realize it is not a reflection of your ability, but a reflection of your conditioning, everything changes. You stop trusting the voice that tears you down and start building the voice that lifts you up. And that shift, that awareness, is the first step toward mastering your mindset. A mindset left untrained becomes a breeding ground for negativity, self-doubt, procrastination, and self-sabotage. Your mind is powerful, but power with no direction can be destructive, just like a wild flame, can either warm a home or burn it down. Your mindset can either elevate your life or destroy your potential. If you do not shape your thoughts with intention, your environment will shape them for you. If you do not train your mentality with discipline, your fears will train it for you. If you do not guide your focus, distractions will pull it everywhere, but where it needs to be. Your mind is not naturally your ally, it becomes your ally only through repetition, practice, and ownership. When you recognize this, you take back control. You stop letting your mindset wander into negativity. You stop letting your thoughts run on autopilot. You start becoming the architect of your mental world. And the moment you take responsibility for training your mind is the moment you stop being controlled by it. Your mindset determines whether you see problems as threats or opportunities. And that single distinction is what separates people who rise from people who remain stuck. A fixed mindset collapses under pressure because it sees difficulty as proof that you're not capable. A growth mindset expands under pressure because it sees difficulty as proof that you're growing. A weak mindset breaks when reality doesn't match expectations. A strong mindset adapts, recalibrates, and continues forward. People often think potential is something you're born with, But potential is actually something you unlock based on how you think. Two people can face the exact same challenge. One crumbles, the other conquers, not because one is stronger, but because one mindset interprets challenge as defeat, while the other interprets it as development. Master your mindset, and challenges become stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. Your mindset begins to destroy your potential the moment you allow fear-based thoughts to dictate the direction of your life. Fear speaks loudly, convincingly, and authoritatively, but it is rarely accurate. Fear magnifies the negative, shrinks the positive, and creates illusions that feel like reality. A fearful mindset can convince you to stay where it's safe even when your future is begging you to move forward. It can convince you that failure is final when failure is actually feedback. It can convince you that you're not good enough when your entire history proves otherwise. Fear does not destroy potential, listening to fear does. And the more you give fear a voice in your decision-making, the more it chips away at the life you could have had. But once you understand that fear is not a command, it's a suggestion, you gain the power to reject it. You gain the power to choose courage over comfort. You gain the power to move even when fear follows you. And that single choice is how you take back your potential. Your mindset destroys your future when you allow negative thoughts to become permanent beliefs. A single negative thought is harmless, but repeated negative thoughts create a narrative, and that narrative becomes your identity. When you believe you're inadequate, you behave inadequately. When you believe you're incapable, you avoid opportunities. When you believe you're unworthy, you settle for less than you deserve. Thoughts shape beliefs, and beliefs shape destiny. If your mindset convinces you that you cannot win, you won't even try. If your mindset convinces you that you're behind, you'll sabotage one of the most toxic mental habits, because it tricks you into measuring your progress by someone else's timeline, achievements, or strengths. It convinces you that you're too far behind to catch up, too slow to succeed, too late to start. But comparison is inaccurate, because it only shows you the highlight reel of others while ignoring the battles they never share. It blinds you to your own progress. It steals your gratitude. It suffocates your confidence. And worst of all, it distracts you from your own path. A mindset consumed by comparison forgets how far you've come and focuses entirely on how far someone else appears to be. But mastery of mindset means returning your focus to your growth, your evolution, your improvement. The only competition that matters is who you were yesterday. When you break free from comparison, your potential finally has the freedom to rise. Your mindset sabotages your future when you underestimate the power of your internal environment. Most people work hard on external goals. They chase money, accolades, opportunities, skills, but they neglect the internal foundation that holds it all together. A toxic mindset makes success unbearable. A chaotic mindset makes progress impossible. A fearful mindset makes opportunities irrelevant, but a solid mindset, disciplined, focused, strong, makes every goal easier to achieve. Your mind is the operating system of your life. If the system is corrupted, nothing runs properly. If the system is optimized, everything functions with greater clarity and efficiency. Investing in your mindset is not optional, it is essential. Because success without mindset mastery leads to burnout, confusion, and collapse. But success with mindset mastery leads to stability, confidence, and continued growth. Your mindset holds the power to turn ordinary days into extraordinary opportunities, or extraordinary opportunities into wasted potential. Every day you wake up with a choice: strengthen your mindset or surrender to it. If you do not intentionally shape your thoughts, your old habits, memories, and fears will shape them for you. Mastery requires awareness. It requires discipline. It requires willingness to step into discomfort and challenge your own thinking. The people who rise in life are not the ones who never struggle, they are the ones who refuse to let their minds dictate their limitations. They train their mindset the way an athlete trains their body. They treat thoughts like weights, lifting the heavy ones until they become lighter, mastering the challenging ones until they become effortless. When you approach your mindset with this level of intention, your potential becomes limitless. It cannot be destroyed, only expanded. Your mindset becomes dangerous when you allow old wounds to shape new expectations, because the pain of your past can easily become the prison of your future if you don't confront it. When unresolved hurt sits inside your mind, it begins to whisper lies like it will happen again, you're not enough, you don't deserve better, or you'll fail just like before. These lies feel real because they're rooted in emotion, but emotion is not evidence. Your experiences may have wounded you, but they did not weaken you. Your past may have discouraged you, but it did not define you. Your failures may have hurt you, but they did not end you. The moment you separate who you were from who you're becoming, your mindset begins to heal, and healed thoughts lead to healed decisions. Healed decisions lead to healed patterns. Healed patterns lead to a healed future. If you don't master your mindset, your past will continue living in your present, but once you take control, your past loses all power over your destiny. Your mindset will destroy your potential when you allow comfort to replace ambition, because comfort is the silent killer of greatness. Comfort convinces you that staying the same is safer than evolving. It tells you that good enough is better than aiming for extraordinary. It numbs your drive, your hunger, your intensity, and your desire for growth. But comfort is a trap, one that looks harmless, but slowly drains your ambition until you no longer recognize the person you once wanted to be. A comfortable mindset avoids risk, avoids effort, avoids challenge, and avoids responsibility. But a mastered mindset recognizes that nothing grows in comfort. No skill, no dream, no strength, no potential. Comfort is the enemy of evolution. And once you understand this, you stop seeking ease and start embracing challenge. You stop craving convenience and start craving progress. You stop being loyal to your comfort zone and start being loyal to your future. Your mindset can sabotage your entire life when you allow doubt to become louder than possibility, because doubt does not need proof in order to feel powerful. Doubt is loud, persuasive, and relentless, especially when you are on the verge of something great. Doubt exaggerates your weaknesses. Doubt minimizes your strengths. Doubt turns simple steps into insurmountable mountains. And if you don't master your mindset, you begin to mistake doubt for reality. But possibility is always stronger than doubt if you choose to give it a voice. Possibility says you've succeeded before, so you can succeed again. Possibility reminds you of your resilience, determination, and ability to grow. Possibility shows you everything that could go right, not just everything that could go wrong. The moment you shift your focus from doubt to possibility, your mindset shifts from limitation to expansion. And where expansion begins, potential thrives. Your mindset will work against you when you allow procrastination and avoidance to disguise themselves as waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is only now, and now is powerful enough to change everything. Your mind loves to delay action because action requires energy, discipline, and courage. But every delay teaches your mind that avoidance is acceptable. Every delay reinforces the belief that you're not ready. Every delay strengthens the mental pattern that destroys your potential. A mastered mindset understands that progress is built through action, not intention. Through movement, not waiting. Through effort, not excuses. When you start acting despite uncertainty, you train your mind to become a tool for growth instead of a barrier to it. And every single action you take builds the internal momentum that destroys procrastination forever. Your mindset becomes unstoppable when you commit to reprogramming your internal world with the same seriousness you use to rebuild your external life. You wouldn't expect a broken foundation to support a strong building, so why expect an untrained mindset to support extraordinary goals? Mindset mastery means confronting your thoughts, rewiring your beliefs, replacing destructive narratives, and sharpening your mental discipline until your mind becomes your greatest weapon instead of your greatest weakness. This process isn't quick, isn't easy, and isn't comfortable, but it is transformational. When you take full responsibility for your mindset, you take full responsibility for your future. You stop being a victim of old programming and start becoming the architect of your potential. And once your mind supports your dreams instead of sabotaging them, there is nothing in the world that can hold you back. Your mindset becomes destructive when you allow negativity to dominate your focus, because what you focus on expands, multiplies, and begins shaping your reality. If your mind constantly looks for what's wrong, you will only see problems. If your mind constantly anticipates failure, you will overlook every opportunity. If your mind constantly expects disappointment, you will interpret even positive situations as threats. Negativity does not just influence your emotions, it infects your decision-making, your self-worth, your confidence, and your willingness to take action. But negativity is learned, not natural. You were not born doubting yourself, you learned it. You were not born fearful, you learned it. You were not born insecure, you learned it. And if it was learned, it can be unlearned. Your mindset becomes stronger the moment you start intentionally redirecting your focus toward solutions instead of setbacks, toward possibilities instead of problems, toward growth instead of limitation. Negativity only destroys potential when you feed it, and you reclaim your power the moment you stop feeding it. Your mindset becomes your greatest enemy when you allow overthinking to suffocate your ability to act. Overthinking is the silent assassin of potential because it creates problems that don't exist, exaggerates risks that aren't real, and delays actions that could change your life. When your mind becomes too busy analyzing every detail, every possibility, every outcome, you lose the most powerful advantage. You have momentum. Momentum is built through action, not analysis. Overthinking convinces you that you need more information, more certainty, more guarantees before you begin. But no amount of thinking will replace the transformation that happens when you move. The more you think, the less you act. The less you act, the more fear grows. The more fear grows, the more your potential dies. A mastered mindset takes responsibility for controlling overthinking by creating clear decisions, firm commitments, and immediate action. You don't need to have everything figured out, you only need to begin. Your mindset sabotages your future when you allow limiting beliefs to run your life without questioning where they came from. Most of your limitations were inherited, absorbed, or conditioned, not chosen. You picked them up from family, from the environment you grew up in, from past failures, from people who projected their fears onto you, from moments where you didn't know your own strength. Yet those limiting beliefs can become so deeply rooted that they feel like truth. But a belief is only a belief because you've repeated it, not because it's accurate. When you finally confront these beliefs, I can't, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, I'm too late, you realize that none of them are grounded in reality. They are grounded in fear, memory, and misunderstanding. Your potential is infinite, but your beliefs must expand to match it. When you upgrade your beliefs, you upgrade your entire life. And the moment you challenge a limiting belief, you break free from chains you never should have been carrying. Your mindset can destroy your potential when you attach your identity to your struggles instead of your strengths. When you see yourself as someone who is always behind, always overwhelmed, always unlucky, or always failing, you lock yourself inside an identity that is far smaller than who you truly are. Identity shapes behavior, behavior shapes results, and results reinforce identity. If your identity is rooted in weakness, your habits will follow. If your identity is rooted in strength, your habits will follow. You must stop identifying with the versions of yourself that were shaped by temporary moments. You are not your mistakes. You are not your past. You are not your worst day. You are not your limits. You are the person who survived all of that. You are the person who kept going. You are the person who can rise again. Mastered mindset begins with a mastered identity, one that aligns with your potential, not your pain. Your mindset becomes destructive when you allow your emotions to lead your decisions instead of your principles. Emotions are powerful but unpredictable. They rise, fall, shift, and distort reality based on the moment. If you let emotions lead, your life will become inconsistent. You'll start things but never finish. Then, you'll quit on hard days. You'll avoid challenges. You'll chase comfort. You'll abandon discipline the moment it becomes inconvenient. But when you build a mindset based on principles, discipline, commitment, resilience, accountability, you rise above emotional fluctuations. You act because your future depends on it, not because you feel like it. You show up because you've chosen to become someone great, not because you're in the mood for it. When principles lead and emotions follow, your potential becomes unstoppable. Your mindset becomes the engine that drives you forward, not the anchor that drags you down. Your mindset becomes a threat to your growth when you allow excuses to overpower responsibility, because excuses are the comfort food of a weak mind. They taste good in the moment, but poison your long-term potential. Every excuse you make builds the habit of avoiding your greatness. Every excuse you repeat trains your mind to retreat instead of advance. Every excuse you accept lowers the standard you hold for yourself. Excuses convince you that you're protecting yourself, when in reality you're limiting yourself. They shield you from temporary discomfort, but imprison you in permanent stagnation. Mastered mindset understands that responsibility, the foundation of power. Responsibility forces you to confront your choices, shift your habits, and elevate your standards. Responsibility frees you because it puts your life back into your hands. A person who chooses responsibility cannot be controlled by fear, excuses, or procrastination. And once you choose responsibility as your mental default, your excuses lose their influence forever. Your mindset becomes dangerous when your desires exceed your discipline, because wanting more is meaningless if your mind isn't strong enough to pursue it consistently. A weak mindset falls in love with outcomes, but refuses to commit to the process. It dreams big, but acts small. It sets goals, but doesn't build habits. It imagines a future, but avoids the work required to reach it. But a mastered mindset understands that discipline is not punishment. Discipline is the highest form of self-love. It is proof that you believe in your future enough to work for it every single day. Discipline silences distractions. Discipline destroys hesitation. Discipline rewires your identity. And when your discipline grows stronger than your excuses, your potential expands faster than you ever imagined. You stop wishing for change and start working for it. You stop hoping for better days and start creating them. And that shift in discipline is the key to unlocking greatness. Your mindset sabotages your potential when you allow temporary setbacks to become permanent identities. One failure becomes I'm a failure. One rejection becomes I'm not good enough. One mistake becomes I can't do anything right. This is how the mind turns single moments into lifelong limitations, by attaching emotion to memory and memory to identity. But setbacks are not verdicts, they are lessons. Failures are not definitions, they are directions. Mistakes are not reflections of your worth, they are reflections of your growth. A mastered mindset views setbacks as stepping stones instead of stop signs. It analyzes instead of internalizes. It learns instead of collapses. It adjusts instead of quits. Your potential is destroyed only when you believe that setbacks define you. When you reclaim your power to interpret every setback as guidance instead of defeat, your potential becomes limitless, because you no longer fear falling, you only fear not rising. Your mindset becomes destructive when you give too much weight to the opinions of people who have no authority over your destiny. When you allow the judgment, gossip, doubt, or expectations of others to influence your direction, you surrender control of your life to people who are not responsible for living it. A weak mindset fears criticism. A strong mindset expects it. A mastered mindset ignores it. People will always have opinions, some born from their insecurities, some from their fears, some from their lack of vision. But their voices only have power if your mindset allows it. The truth is, most people criticize what they do not understand or what they are too afraid to pursue themselves. Your potential is too precious to be shaped by the limitations of others. When your mindset becomes strong enough to trust your path, your purpose, and your future, no opinion can distract you. And when no opinion can distract you, your potential becomes unstoppable. Your mindset becomes a weapon of destruction when you forget that you alone are in control of your thoughts, your habits, and your destiny. The mind will try to wander, resist, sabotage, and distract, but you always have the power to redirect it. Mastery is a decision, an intentional, daily decision to train your mind instead of letting it control you. It requires awareness to catch destructive thoughts, discipline to replace them, and consistency to reinforce new patterns. But once you begin training your mind with purpose, everything in your life begins to shift. You gain clarity, you gain confidence, you gain resilience, you gain emotional stability, and with each improvement, your potential strengthens. A mastered mindset does not eliminate challenges, it simply becomes powerful enough to conquer them. And once your mind becomes stronger than your fear, stronger than your excuses, and stronger than your past, nothing in this world can destroy your potential. Your mindset becomes destructive when you allow impatience to override progress, because impatience convinces you that if results don't come quickly, they're not worth pursuing. But greatness is never instant. Transformation is never immediate. Growth is never convenient. Impatience makes you forget that every meaningful achievement requires consistency, repetition, resilience, and time. When your mind expects instant success, it interprets normal struggle as failure. It interprets slow progress as incompetence. It interprets effort as a waste of energy. But a mastered mindset understands that slow progress is still progress, that small steps still move you forward, and that perseverance always pays off over time. Impatience destroys potential by making you quit before your breakthrough arrives. But patience, disciplined, strategic, intentional patience allows your success to compound until it becomes unstoppable. Once you learn to trust the process instead of rushing it, your potential becomes limitless. Your mindset becomes your enemy when you fail to recognize that thoughts are not commands, they are suggestions. Your mind is constantly generating narratives, but not every narrative deserves your obedience. Some thoughts arise from fear, some arise from insecurity, some arise from exhaustion, stress, or doubt. And when you mistake these temporary thoughts for truth, you allow them to steer your life in the wrong direction. A mastered mindset learns to observe thoughts without accepting them. It questions thoughts before believing them. It redirects thoughts that weaken confidence. It amplifies thoughts that build strength. When you realize you are the thinker, not the thought, you regain control over your mental world. You become the judge, not the prisoner. You become the commander, not the follower. And once you learn to choose your thoughts intentionally, your potential can no longer be destroyed by the ones that once controlled you. Your mindset destroys your potential when you treat your dreams casually instead of seriously. If your goals matter, they require mental commitment, not just excitement. Excitement fades, emotion fades, motivation fades. But commitment is a decision to pursue your vision regardless of mood, circumstance, or difficulty. A weak mindset wants dreams without discipline. A mediocre mindset wants results without sacrifice. But a mastered mindset understands that potential becomes reality only when you respect your goals enough to prioritize them. When you hold your dreams as sacred, your actions align with your purpose. When your actions align with your purpose, your life aligns with your vision. Your mindset determines whether you treat your dreams like wishes or responsibilities. And the moment you take responsibility for your future, you activate a level of potential that laziness, fear, and excuses can no longer destroy. Your mindset becomes destructive when you allow your past environments to overshadow your current possibilities. You are not obligated to repeat the mindsets, beliefs, habits, or patterns of the environment you were raised in. Yet many people unknowingly carry the limitations of their surroundings long after they've outgrown them. Maybe you grew up around negativity. Maybe you grew up around fear. Maybe you grew up around people who didn't believe in themselves. But their mindset is not your destiny. Their limitations do not define your potential. Their beliefs do not determine your future. A mastered mindset recognizes that you can break generational patterns, redefine your identity, and create a reality the one around you has ever seen. The moment you decide to elevate beyond the mindset you inherited, you rewrite your entire lineage, and nothing destroys potential faster than believing you must stay the same. Your mindset becomes harmful when you forget that everything begins inside you: the belief, the courage, the focus, the discipline, the resilience, the ambition, the drive. Nothing external can replace internal strength. No opportunity matters if your mindset is too weak to seize it. No relationship matters if your mindset is too insecure to maintain it. No dream matters if your mindset is too fearful to pursue it. That's why mastering your mindset is the foundation of mastering your life. When your mental environment is strong, your external world flourishes. When your mental environment is weak, everything else collapses. Mastery begins with understanding that potential is not something you find, it's something you protect, something you nurture, something you strengthen. And nothing protects your potential more powerfully than a disciplined, trained, consciously controlled mindset. Your mindset becomes destructive when you fall into the trap of believing that your emotions are facts rather than temporary internal weather. Emotions rise and fall like waves, but your values, your goals, and your future must remain steady regardless of emotional storms. When you let emotions dictate your actions, you become reactive instead of strategic, impulsive instead of intentional, inconsistent instead of disciplined. Your emotions will tell you to quit when things get hard. They will tell you you're failing when you're actually learning. They will tell you something is impossible when it's simply unfamiliar. But your mindset becomes powerful the moment you separate emotional truth from actual truth. Emotional truth is how you feel in the moment. Actual truth is who you are, what you're capable of, and what you've proven through your resilience. When you anchor your actions in truth instead of emotion, your potential can no longer be destroyed by temporary internal storms. Your mindset becomes dangerous when you allow perfectionism to replace progress, because perfectionism is nothing more than fear dressed as high standards. Perfectionism convinces you that if something isn't flawless, it's worthless. It convinces you that if you make mistakes, you're inadequate. It convinces you that if the timing isn't perfect, you shouldn't begin. But perfection is a myth and illusion that destroys confidence, kills momentum, and suffocates creativity. A mastered mindset understands that progress matters far more than perfection. Imperfect action will always outperform perfect inaction. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master started messy. Every success story was filled with mistakes, failures, adjustments, and learning. When you release the need to be perfect and instead commit to consistent improvement, your potential skyrockets. You stop judging yourself and start growing yourself. And the moment you choose progress over perfection, your mindset shifts into unstoppable territory. Your mindset becomes the enemy of your greatness when you allow your comfort zone to disguise itself as safety. The comfort zone is familiar, predictable, and painless, but it is also where dreams go to die. Nothing extraordinary is born in comfort. Nothing life-changing happens while playing small. Nothing meaningful grows in places where you feel no resistance. Your mind will try to convince you that staying comfortable protects you, but in reality, it traps you. It traps your potential. It traps your ambition. It traps the version of you capable of greatness. A mastered mindset recognizes discomfort as a sign of expansion. It sees challenge as evidence that you're evolving. It interprets fear as confirmation that you're stepping into new territory. The comfort zone protects your present, but destroys your future. The growth zone challenges your present, but builds your future. And the moment you choose growth over comfort, your destiny shifts. Your mindset becomes destructive when you forget that repetition is the foundation of transformation. Your mind learns through patterns. Whatever you repeat becomes familiar, and whatever is familiar becomes easy to believe. If you repeat weakness, your mind adopts weakness. If you repeat doubt, your mind adopts doubt. If you repeat negativity, your mind adopts negativity. But if you repeat strength, confidence, and discipline, your mind adapts to align with those qualities too. Mastery is not created by one powerful moment. It is created by thousands of repeated decisions that build identity piece by piece. Your potential is not activated by intention. It is activated by consistency. When you choose consistency over convenience, something inside you changes. You become dependable to yourself. You become trustworthy to your own goals. You become aligned with the future you're building. And when your repetition becomes stronger than your excuses, your potential becomes indestructible. Your mindset becomes destructive when you forget that you are capable of reinventing yourself at any moment. Too many people stay trapped in outdated versions of themselves because they believe change must be slow, complicated, or dependent on external circumstances. But you can choose to think differently today. You can choose to behave differently today. You can choose to believe differently today. Reinvention is not a process that requires permission, it requires decision. A mastered mindset understands that you are not bound to who you were yesterday. You are not limited by who you used to be. You are not stuck in old narratives unless you choose to stay there. Reinvention begins when you declare, I am done living beneath my potential. It begins when you choose growth over familiarity. It begins when you choose vision over fear. And once you commit to reinventing your mindset, your entire life begins to elevate with it. Your mindset becomes destructive when you underestimate the power of the narratives you repeat to yourself every single day. The stories you tell yourself shape the boundaries of your potential, whether those boundaries are expansive or restrictive. If you tell yourself you're weak, you act weak. If you tell yourself you're capable, you act capable. If you tell yourself you always fail, you stop trying. If you tell yourself you always rise, you keep going no matter what. Your inner narrative becomes the script of your life, guiding your actions, shaping your habits, and influencing every decision you make. A mastered mindset requires rewriting the internal stories that hold you back and replacing them with stories that push you forward. When your narrative changes, your effort changes. When your effort changes, your identity changes. When your identity changes, your entire life transforms. And the moment you take ownership of your narrative, your potential becomes too powerful to be destroyed. Your mindset becomes harmful when you allow your fears to grow larger than your goals. Fear is a natural emotion, but when left unchallenged, it becomes a mental tyrant, one that dictates what you attempt, what you avoid, and what you settle for. Fear exaggerates danger, minimizes your strength, and convinces you that discomfort is something to run from instead of something to grow through. But a mastered mindset recognizes that fear is not a barrier, it is a compass pointing toward the areas where your greatest growth exists. When you face fear instead of fleeing from it, you build confidence. When you move through fear, you build resilience. When you conquer fear, you build identity. Fear can destroy your potential only when you obey it. But when you use fear as fuel, your potential expands beyond what you imagine possible. Your mindset destroys your potential when you allow your environment to shape your standards instead of shaping them yourself. The people around you influence how you think, how you behave, and what you believe is possible. A negative environment breeds negative thinking. A lazy environment breeds procrastination. A fearful environment breeds hesitation. But a powerful environment breeds ambition, discipline, courage, and vision. A mastered mindset recognizes when your surroundings are limiting you and begins actively building environments, physical, mental, and emotional, that support your highest self. Your environment can either destroy your potential or amplify it. And the moment you choose environments that challenge you, inspire you, and elevate you, your mindset becomes unstoppable. Your mindset becomes a threat to your future when you stop believing that you have the power to change. Many people stay stuck not because they lack potential, but because they lack belief. If you believe your situation defines you, growth becomes impossible. If you believe your past limits you, progress becomes unattainable. If you believe your mistakes define you, evolution becomes unreachable. But belief is not something you wait for, it is something you build. You build belief through action, through evidence, through consistency, through proving to yourself, day after day, that you can rise above circumstances, patterns, and fear. When you begin believing in your ability to change, your mindset shifts from survival to expansion, from limitation to possibility, from stagnation to transformation. And nothing destroys potential faster than a lack of belief. So nothing protects potential more powerfully than strengthening it. Your mindset becomes the guardian of your potential when you finally realize that everything begins and ends in the mind. Your habits, your confidence, your discipline, your resilience, your relationships, your decisions, your success, your peace, everything flows from your mental foundation. When your mind is trained, everything else becomes easier. When your mind is untrained, everything else becomes harder. Mastering your mindset isn't optional. If you want to step into the version of yourself you were meant to become, it is the first requirement, the most important foundation, and the most valuable skill we'll ever develop. You are not fighting the world. You are not fighting other people. You are not fighting bad luck. Your greatest battle is within your mind. And once you win that battle, your potential becomes limitless. Your mindset can be your greatest ally or your most destructive enemy. It can build your future or bury your potential. It can elevate your life or sabotage everything you are capable of becoming. But today, you learned the truth. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are not defined by your past, your fears, or your old patterns. You are powerful. You are adaptable. You are capable of transformation. And you have the ability right now to take full control of your mind before it destroys your potential. Your mindset is not fixed. It is trained. It is shaped. It is built by daily choices, repeated thoughts, and intentional discipline. You are the architect of your internal world. And once you master that world, nothing external can stop you. If this message awakens something inside you, then stay connected to Daily Global Motivation, where every video strengthens your mind, elevates your spirit, and unlocks your potential. Before you go, subscribe, like, comment your favorite part or the mindset you're ready to master. Share this video with someone who needs this message today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for growing. Thank you for choosing mastery over destruction. I'll see you in the next video.